Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mr. 008 here, and today I have for you part 1 of my 3,000 subscriber special on my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we are going to be trying to get all Paragons in one game. So I'm thinking that the best map for this may be either Skates or Lotus Island. I was honestly thinking Skates at first, but I'm leaning towards Lotus Island now because of there being a couple of obstacles at the very least for the Dart Paragon. So let's go ahead and just jump into a simple medium game right here. That way Moabs have full health, but Bloons aren't moving too fast and towers aren't too pricey. So what we are going to need to do is focus on a lot of farming at first in this game. So what I'm thinking we are going to do is just get a Dart Monkey and a sub to start ourselves off with some relatively cheap, effective popping power for its price. And I do have Geraldo because I would like to use the Quincy action figure in this game to just help with some income early on to like in the middle of the game or so. So let's go ahead and get a farm, and after I get one farm I'll get Geraldo, but I would like to get one farm first just so that we don't have to worry about a early game shortage of money or the action figure getting too expensive too fast. So let's go ahead and do this. Get it to 200 as soon as possible. And right here, we have first tier, and let's go ahead and get a second tier as soon as we can. So, you heard me in the beginning of this video say this is part 1 of my 3,000 subscriber special. And I am indeed hoping to make this a multi-part mini-series, so to speak. I don't know if mini-series is the right word. I'll just say a special. It doesn't have to be too specific. A special that's going to have multiple parts, because I would like to give back to you guys by giving you some content to watch for this special occasion on the channel. I want you all to celebrate with me, because this isn't only about me, this is also about you, because without you, my channel would not be where it is now. So let's go ahead and get the action figure as soon as we can. It's 8:45 now, probably just went up by 9:30. Let's go ahead and put it right about there. So I always find that putting things such as the action figure in like small confined spaces where I would not be able to put much else to be helpful. That way it does not take up space that could be used by something else, and I do believe it has a footprint. Otherwise I would probably be able to put a Dart Monkey there, but yeah, that is fine. So let's go ahead and get another Dart Monkey right there. One spike will be used up right there, but that is no big deal. Let's focus more for now on some more farming. And maybe I'll get a shooty turret or two, that way we have a little bit more popping power without spending too much to get it. So we do have some regrow Bloons there, but that is not going to be a problem, because they're just yellows, nothing too fancy or difficult to deal with. That way, yeah, we are good. So let's go ahead and get a shooty turret right here. Not sure why it just, like, went to, like me, being able to select where to put it, and then all of a sudden it went back. For some reason, but let's put it right there. May not be the greatest of spots, but it should work. So yeah, we do have a significant amount of extra popping power now, even with just that one turret, so that's going to be nice. So I'm thinking of going for bottom path farms for a couple of reasons. One, because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to keep running my thumb all over the screen, just to collect a bunch of stuff and all of that. And two, because this map is a map that has plenty of water to work with, and having all of that water will be pretty nice because of the fact that it will allow us to get plenty of bottom path buccaneers, which can make some money of their own. And they benefit from central markets, the 4th tier bottom path banana farm. So once we get some of those, we will be able to use a economic synergy, so to speak. So let's go ahead and continue here, and we will see what we can do. So I think that because this is a rather boring part of the game to watch, that I am going to cut the video here. That way I can get ahead with some more farming and all of that. We don't have Jerry's Fire unlocked just yet, so let's go ahead and get something simple like a bomb shooter right there, and hopefully that will be enough for the most part. I'll put an alchemist down as well. It's not the best type of defense to really work with, and this lead balloon would leak, but yeah. It's not the end of the world though. We are not focused on a no lives lost run. So I am going to cut the video here, and I will see you guys back at around round 40 or maybe 45 or so, and I'll show you where I'm at by then with my economy and defense and all of that. Alright, so we are back, and I am going to turn auto start back on right there, and we have a little bit stronger of an economy right here. The Quincy action figure is already worth $8,000 right there, which is pretty nice to see. So I'm going to get some more marketplaces and all of that. That way we can further strengthen our economy, because we are going to need lots and lots of money for our paragons later on in this game. So I'm not going to focus so much on high degree paragons, just on getting them, because of the fact that it can be a bit tedious to try and get all of the paragons like degree 100 and all of that. So I don't know if that's going to be in the cards for today, and I am going to focus more so just on getting the paragons all in the same game. So this is a cool map and all of that. That said, I do believe that it would be nicer to play on this map if the flowers, the lotus flowers, did not automatically trigger when you touch close to them but don't tap on them, because I am swiping my finger on the screen right now to collect bananas, and then I release my finger right there, and it triggers one of the flowers, so I think that's a bit annoying, and it should only trigger it if you put your finger on the screen and release your finger from the screen at the same time, when you are at the point of, like when you are trying to trigger the flower. That way it only activates or triggers when you are trying to trigger it, is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead here. It looks like we definitely do need more camo detection, because the sub cannot shoot over here, unfortunately, which is what I was trying to get it to be able to do, but it cannot do that. So let's go ahead and get some more camo detection right there. Get a couple crossbow monkeys, nothing too fancy, that way we have better popping power. And I know I said I was going to only get bottom path farms in this video, That said, I have since changed my mind because I do think it will be helpful if we were to get some top path farms as well, especially considering that the Monkey Wall Street can generate income by like auto collecting from nearby farms, so you don't have to worry about manually collecting them and risking the bananas spoiling and not getting the money from them. So that is going to be nice. So let's get our first BRF right there. Trying to remember which one was my first. It was that one, okay. Because yeah, sometimes I like when the towers that are named are the ones that are getting the most pops, or in the case of farms, the most money and all of that. That said, sometimes it just does not come out that way, because it is always the farm that you place first that is the named one, rather than the one that is in the best spot to where it can make the most money, or the one that is most well upgraded. So we don't have the strongest defense right now, so I'm thinking that we should probably get something else like a recursive cluster, something like that, which does deal more damage, I believe now, like 2 instead of 1 by default, which means 3 with heavy bombs. That said, it does not pop black balloons anymore, so it's tough to say whether it's better now or if it used to be better. So let's just go ahead and keep on getting some more tier 4 farms. I think I'm going to cut the video again once we beat the BFB on round 60, and I'll come back on maybe round 75 or so. That way I can strengthen my economy a little bit more without having to have too much of the video be a build-up rather than showcasing all of the Paragons at the end. But I do like recording some bits of each part of the video rather than just having the whole thing be raw footage, to where it's like not going to be very fun to watch the whole thing and whatnot, and rather than having the whole thing be like all at the end, like, hey, we're going to get some Paragons in this video, and I show myself getting the map selected and placing down the first couple towers, play a couple rounds, and then cut ahead to like round 100 or whatever immediately, because I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and head into free play, and I will see you guys again soon at round 75 or so. Alright, so round 75 is about to begin, so let's go ahead and check this. We have 42,000 on our Quincy action figure, and we do have 2 tier 5 farms as well, which is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and focus a little bit more from here on our defense rather than our economy, since we already have a good economy up and going. So I'm going to get my second crossbow master right there, and we are making some pretty good money each round right now, so that is nice to see. And I think what I would like to do next, I am going to try and get a couple more central markets due to the fact that I want to benefit my my Buccaneers, my favored trades. So let's go ahead and get these right here, and we are going to focus on that going forward. So while we only have 7 rather than the maximum of 10 right now, I think we are good to go with starting up our Buccaneer farms, because these will provide both money and defense. And I am going to get another bomb shooter up here as well. Upgrade this to jungle drums as well. And this will be middle path instead of top path. Reason being, I plan on getting a bomb blitz at some point in the near future. So let's go ahead and get these up. So we have 3 of these now, but we want to get up to a little bit over 20 of them. So let's go ahead and keep building more of these. And let's check the action figure again. Round 80 it's going to be right now, and we are getting plenty from that 53,000 now, so not bad. And I'm going to upgrade the one in the middle to the carrier flagship rather than to another farming boat, another merchant ship. So let's go ahead and get this one up to our trade empire, not the
What is that? Quick! Check the shop.
pilot board. So let's go ahead right here, and when we have the money for it, we will go ahead and buy it. So I would like to also talk a little bit more about my YouTube channel, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what you would like to see on this channel, because I have an idea of what I want the channel to grow into going forward. I want there to be a main game, in this case Bloons TD6, that I make a lot of videos on. And I also want there to be a couple of secondary games that I make mini-series on, or occasional content on, including perhaps Minecraft and Kingdom Rush. I do want to get back into those. So let me know your thoughts on that, and if there are any other games you would like to see. I don't want to reveal too much about what part 2 of my 3,000 subscriber special will be just yet, but I would like to tell you that I do already have it planned out at this point, as for what I would like to get, or what I would like to make a video on, rather, because I was thinking about what towers to get in this game, but I am thinking now about what type of video I would like to make for part 2 of this special. So let me know your thoughts, what you want to see, and perhaps I will make a video on whatever that may be. If there is another mobile game you would like to see, or if there's something like that. I am only going to play games that I find fun. That said, I will check out games that others suggest to me, and if I find it to be fun and entertaining and not get boring too quickly, and to be something that is actually like free to play, not pay to win or anything like that, then that would be pretty nice. And I may end up expanding that into a series, whatever that may be. So let's go ahead and get our first Paragon now. Right there, we do have enough for that. So let's go ahead and get the Apex Plasma Master. So let me see if I can put something there. It looks like I cannot put a Dart Monkey right there, but this may be a good spot anyway. Even though it does not have long reach, maybe here is better. Let's go right there and get this. So again, I'm not focused too much on degrees for this video, but what I will do is do what I can to get a decent degree. Again, let me know if you want to see an all-degree 100 Paragons video, and if there is enough interest in that, I will make a video on it. So let's go ahead right here and get a couple more of these. And we'll get 3 more, and then we will get our first Paragon. So right there, and let's get this. Max out the money right there. Degree 58. Alright, not bad. So, and it does have a good range, and it can definitely get some projectile splitting. That way there's more, that way there is more, or are more spikes to go around and pop more balloons. So that will be nice to see. And I think it is time for us to get started with working on Paragon number 2 now as well. So let's go ahead right here. And I'm going to get maybe 15 boomerangs. So let's get,
Well done,
this
my
will be
friend.
number 10. And that's 15. And I'm thinking of making this one the Paragon. So let's get 2 more. That way we have 15, or rather 3 more. So we have 15 in addition to the tier 5s. So let's get the Permacharge and the Glaive Lord right there. And we do get an Insta-Monkey right there, 100 Spike Factory. Not bad. So let's go ahead right here and get a bunch of these. And since Geraldo's shop has restocked, there we go, with some Paragon Power totems. So let's go ahead and continue getting these. I think that is all of them that we've upgraded. We just have to cross path a couple of them because upgrade count does contribute to a higher Paragon degree. So that's going to be nice.
Well
Get
done, my
that.
friend. There
And
you
we
are.
do have some more totems that we can get right here. So let's just wait a little bit. And once we have about $100,000 more than the price, we will go ahead and get this. And it may look a little concerning at the beginning there with the DDTs, but the Dart Paragon does have it covered. So let's get this, 110,000 extra, and we get degree 43. Not as high as I was expecting, to be honest, but still not bad. It's over degree 40, so we got 2 major power spikes from it, those being at degree 20 and 40. So let's go ahead and continue. So I think the next one I want to get is probably maybe the sub. I think I'm going to save the Buccaneer for last, that way we can still have some solid income generation all the way through until we get our final Paragon. So I'm thinking the sub may be our best one to get next due to the fact that it is on the cheaper side. So where do we want to put this tower? I don't think that's a good spot. Maybe here? I don't know if that's a good spot either, but if we get the advanced intel by having a lot of other towers all the way around the map, that can be pretty nice. So let's go ahead and get this. And the preemptive strike. And we will get some more power totems as well right here. And we will place another, let's go with 10, since first strike is already fairly expensive. We'll go with 10 rather than 15 like we did for the boomerangs. So let's get first strike. Didn't mean to get the energizer there. That was a misclick. And I didn't mean to get that either. That was another misclick. Let's go here, and I'm actually going to get the Airburst cross path because it is slightly more expensive. So let's go ahead and do this right here.
Yes,
And
my
let's
friend.
get some
Careful,
more
these are
totems
fragile.
as well,
Break
since
it
we
with your
can.
body.
So I'm not sure how far we are going to get. I'm wondering what round we'll get to, and that's something else I would like for
Well
you guys to
done, my
leave
friend.
a comment on. Just let me know what degree you expect us to get to in this run, and if you think we may reach, let's say, around 200 or 250 or even 300 perhaps, and
Yes, my friend.
then we can see at the end if you were right or close to right, and see like what the most popular guesses were compared to what actually ended up happening. So yeah, that is something that I would encourage you to do. So now we're past round 120, so there are 20 more rounds that are predetermined as far as the balloons that spawn. And then after that, it's pure RNG with a few exceptions, like rounds 163, which is just ceramics and leads, and 200, which is 2 fortified bads every time. 263, which is a bunch of fortified DDTs, and so on and so forth. So there we go. There is the Nordic Siege Corps over degree 50, so that is nice. The power spike at degree 50 is not as major or as significant as the degree 40 or 60 spikes, but it's still nice to have. So now we have 3 Paragons down and 5 more to go. So the dart and the boomerang are the only ones that are in primary, so we have those taken care of. Next up, we are going to probably get... So I could get the Doom Ship, that set is the most expensive one, so I don't know if I want to do that just yet. Maybe we would be better off with getting something else, like the Ninja. So I think the Ninja is what I am going to get next. Actually, I've changed my mind. Let's get the Engineer next, due to the fact that... Actually, I'll keep this Ninja here, so that I remember where I want to place the Ninja Paragon. So, I want to get the Engineer as soon as possible, due to the fact that I just remembered it's self-overclocking, and I want that to, like, ramp itself up as fast as possible. That way we definitely reach a maxed out overclocking before we get too late into the game. And better yet, and more specifically, before we lose. So let's go ahead and get 10 extra engineers. That's 8. And that is 10. Actually, let's get 12. Why not?
Yes,
And we can get some more totems, so why not? Granted, these do cost a lot of money, but I think that we will be just fine in the end. So let's go ahead and get the balloon trap right there, the XXXL trap specifically, as well as the other 2 tier 5s right there. And let's get these. Only getting the sentry gun cross path because it is more expensive. That's 8. And there we go. So now it is just a saving game. So you're almost at our 4th Paragon, and that is going to be pretty nice. So I'm thinking of cutting the video once more. As soon as I get the Engineer Paragon, I will cut the video once more. That way I can get some more money and get closer to getting the other Paragons that we would like to get. And I will just get some money in that off time. I won't actually get any more Paragons while I'm not recording. I want to save that for when I am recording, but just so that we can get a little bit closer to the other ones we want to get. Because we aren't to the most exciting part of the video yet, so that is going to be pretty nice when we do get to that point. So there is one other thing I would like to talk about. So I'm not sure when I'm going to get the second part of my 3,000 subscriber special out just yet. And part of that is due to a trip that I am going on within the next week. And if you guys remember, some of you may remember when I was talking about the Arnold Strongman Classic last year, and I did go to see that. I don't know if I remember, I don't know if I told you guys how that was, but it was a very awesome experience. And if you are a fan of strength sports, I would definitely encourage you to go if you are in the local area. I don't want to say where I live, but I don't live too far from where the Arnold is. So I am able to go there, and it is going to be fun once again, I expect. And hopefully I'll meet even more athletes and all of that, because I did meet, I want to say, all except for 3 of the athletes who were competing at that show last year. So that was pretty nice to be able to meet some of them and to be able to talk to some of them as well. So let's go ahead before we forget, get this Master Builder right there. Degree 38, that's a little low, but again, we are focused more on the Paragons themselves rather than on the degrees. So let's go ahead and put this here. That's actually a bad spot, to be honest, but let's go ahead and keep getting these mini sentries down wherever we can. So I'll put this one here, that way it has some coverage both on the side closer to the, like closer to the beginning of the track and closer to the end. I'll put this one here since it tends to excel against Moabs rather than against smaller balloons, since they are generally more numerous at the beginning of the track. So I am going to cut the video here, that way I can, oh wait, I meant to keep auto start off. So I'm going to cut the video here as soon as round 148 ends, that way I can farm up some more money and prepare to get our next 4 Paragons. Alright, so it is now time for us to get our Ninja Paragon. Let's go ahead and see if we can get any more totems. And since we can, let's get those. And we will max out the amount of cash we can contribute as well. We get a degree 45 right there, so that's nice. So I actually tested off camera whether or not this would be a higher degree or a lower degree, with just contributing extra cash rather than getting more Paragon powder or power totems. Not sure why I said powder there, but I did get a degree 44 off camera when I put extra money just straight into the Paragon rather than getting the 2 extra totems, and I got a degree 45 with getting the totems right there. So that is cool to see. And I only submerged my sub-Paragon, that way my other towers can get some more pops, especially the Grand Saboteur and all of that, so I could get a quick, easy Ninja Paragon right there. So the next one I am going to go for is the Wizard, and that is going to be our 3rd to last Paragon in this game, and I will see you guys back here when I have enough money to do that. Alright, so now we have enough money right here, and let's also get 2 more of these totems since they are more effective than the cash slider, I would think. So let's get the Magus Perfectus right here. I'm not sure $8,000 is going to do anything, but let's get that anyway. So right there we got a degree 45, which is decent. So let's go ahead and continue to save up for our next Paragon. And once again, I am going to do that off camera. And once I have the money and everything else I need to get the Goliath Doom ship, I will be back. Okay, so we are back. I do not have enough money just yet for the Goliath Doom ship, but I want to show you guys round 200. And it looks like the Wizard Paragon right over here is recharging its mana. So the Phoenix is not up at this time, and also the sub-Paragon is submerged, so you aren't seeing things at full strength right now. But I just wanted to show you this, and we almost have enough money at this point for the Doom Ship, and once we get that, I will save up for the Buccaneer Paragon, which should definitely take significantly less time, especially considering that we already have all the tier 5s and we have plenty of income to work with. So we have over 10 million pops right here on this Flying Fortress, and if you look at the damage per second here from the Flying Fortress, I almost said Spectre, and the Phoenix from the Wizard Paragon, as well as the other attacks at close range from the Wizard Paragon, they're almost the same in damage output. It's crazy to think about, because the Flying Fortress, even with all the prerequisite upgrades, is maybe $105,000. But the Wizard Paragon right here, the Paragon part alone is $750,000, so we're looking at close to $1 million. So, I don't know if it's just me, but I think that Flying Fortress may need a pretty significant nerf. But now that we have the money, let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to get 2 more of these totems right here, so we'll have 10 totems for the Goliath Doom Ship, and put in that extra $51,000 right there. And we got a degree 78. That's pretty good. Almost a degree 80. Honestly, I was just thinking maybe degree 60. But that pop count definitely contributes a lot to the degree that you get. So next up and finally will be the Buccaneer Paragon, because we already have the Dart, Wizard, Boomer, Sub, Ace. That's 5. The Ninja right there, and the Engineer right there. Just showing you guys some of the pop counts and all of that. And this sub-Paragon was submerged for a long time up to this point, so a lot of those pops came in before I submerged it. So just to add a little bit of context there. So I'm going to cut the video one final time, and we are going to save for the Navarch of the Seas, and once I can get that, I will see you guys again. We are back, and we now have enough money, in fact far more than enough, to get the next and final Paragon, the Navarch of the Seas. So let's go ahead and do that, and it is now degree 100. So we do have at least one degree 100 Paragon for this video. So the next thing I would like to do, actually before I get to that, it does relate to the sub-Paragon, but I actually had to unsubmerge this tower due to the fact that I lost a couple rounds ago, although I wasn't like microing any abilities or whatever at that point. So now that this tower is dealing more damage rather than being submerged and just helping with ability cooldowns, we are in a significantly better situation. Not to mention how powerful the Buccaneer Paragon can be, and it is arguably the strongest, but most people would probably say second strongest after the Ace Paragon in the game. So now that we have that, I'd say we're in good hands. So I want to focus mostly on just the Paragons and what they can do in this game rather than other towers. But I am going to get a couple of other towers. I did not mean to activate the Ace Paragon's ability right there. So let's go ahead and just get some more towers right here, just for that camo range for the advanced intel, because the sub-Paragon does not have automatic camo detection, if I am not mistaken. So that does mean we have to get other towers that can pop camos in order for it to be able to pop camos. So that's why I am choosing towers specifically for the intel that have camo detection. So let's go ahead and get that as well, just for the purpose of the intel and all that. I don't think I meant to upgrade it all the way to tier 5, but I don't think it matters. So let's see how far we can go at this point. So let's see, round 242 is coming up, and that leads me to something that I would like to talk about before this game is over. And this is just like a personal story, just for adding some extra content to the video, basically. But last night I was actually watching on YouTube some old Deal or No Deal episodes, because Deal or No Deal was one of my favorite childhood game shows, and just one of my favorite childhood TV shows for that matter. Although the version I was watching last night is a different version than the one I'm used to. So the one that I was watching last night had 22 cases and had amounts ranging from a penny to $500,000 in the cases. And the first round you had to open 5 cases. The second, if you said no deal at the end of the first round, you had to open 5 more cases, and so on and so forth. But it did go down from 5 to 4 cases for the third round, and so on. But it wasn't like a linear change in the number of cases you had to open each round if you were to keep saying no deal. And also there were contestant candidates, so to speak, who held and opened the cases, and there was this wheel that was spun to see which case number would be selected, and thus which contestant would be selected to play. So that's the version I was watching last night. But the version I'm used to watching has $1 million as its top prize, not $500,000, and has 26 cases. And the cases are brought onto the stage and then opened by models who were trained for the show, rather than by potential contestants. And whoever the contestant was for the episode that I was watching when I was younger would have already been selected before the filming started. That way, basically, Howie, as in Howie Mandel, the host of the show, would be like, you know, welcome to Deal or No Deal. I'm here with first name, last name of the contestant for today's episode, and all of that. And then after that, the models and the cases would be presented with the ladies please and all of that. So that's the version that I'm used to watching. And that's also the version that the reboot was based on. And unfortunately, the rebooted version did not last as long, but I was glad that they tried to bring it back to begin with. So I'm hoping still for the show to come back in the long run, in the future, still with Howie as the host, and still with the same format, the 26 cases, from a penny to $1 million and all of that, because it's what I'm used to watching, and I think it's what's more fun to watch anyway. That said, the other version isn't bad or anything. It's just that it's not as fun, in my opinion. But that also brings me to the fact that there's this new show that's not hosted by Howie, unfortunately, probably because of other projects that he's working on, if I had to guess why he's not hosting it. So let's use the metamorphosis right there. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Let's also pull in that bad, because I forgot we could do that. But yeah, there is another show called Deal or No Deal Island that just recently started airing, and I haven't watched it yet, but if there are any of you who have watched either the OG Deal or No Deal or that show that just started airing, feel free to let me know in the comments. because I'm eager to know how much you guys like the original one, and if you are interested in watching the newer one, and what you think of it if you've seen it already, because that would be cool to know if I have something in common with one of you guys in regards to favorite TV shows and all of that. And there were some other TV shows I really liked watching as well. I think DDTs are our biggest problem here, and that did not do anything, that ability, because the ZOMGs weren't far enough along the track. But, let's go ahead and just see here. So, I'm going to use this again. Hopefully it pops the DDTs just fine. It looks like it does. And let's hook in that fortified bed, and there's only a normal one after that. The fortified ones are the problem at this point. But yeah, the normal ones aren't that bad. So let's go ahead, no pun intended by the way. Let's go ahead and use this ability, and that does look to do a good job. That said, it doesn't pop the bed that was farthest along the track there. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get to round 300 or not in this game. I'm thinking maybe I will. Let's see if this ability comes in handy or not. It may, but at the same time, it may not do that much. So it fires at the first ZOMGs, and they were almost popped anyway, so that wasn't very useful there. But we will have to see how things are in the future with this ability, potentially. So, some other shows that I used to like watching when I was younger on TV include some other game shows like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and this Password show that was hosted by Regis Philbin. Not sure how many of you have heard of him or not. Okay, that's a problem with the DDTs. One life there, we were lucky. So let's go, not to that map, but to this one. Back into the game, and see if we can do better on this round. So, now that we know what's coming, let's use the Metamorphosis ability. I'm not sure if that really did anything. Maybe the wizard is low on mana, and I can't find him either. So, let's go ahead and see. Yeah, looks like he's out of mana now, but he would have been anyway because we used the Metamorphosis ability, which does consume a lot of mana. So, DDTs, I'm inclined to say, would cause problems, but there aren't any left at this point. So, I'm not sure if this is going to do anything. It does not do anything to the ZOMGs farthest along, but we can just wait for it to, for this Paragon to get some more mana back, and there we go, full mana again. So, let's see if we can pop this furthest fortified bed or not. Looks like the DDTs may be troublesome. There we go. But yeah, getting back to my favorite TV shows from back in the day, I also liked Let's Make a Deal, The Price is Right, the 1,000,000-second quiz, which was hosted by Ryan Seacrest, and that show only had one season, unfortunately. I feel like it wasn't as well received by the majority of viewers as it was by me, but I really liked that show, even though it didn't seem to get the best ratings. And there were also some science shows I really like How the Universe Works. That's my favorite science show, I would say. And those DDTs almost caused some big trouble there, but they did not end up causing too much of an issue. So let's keep going and see how far we can get. But yeah, I forget which other science shows I really liked. I think there was another one, NASA's Unexplained Files. I really liked that show as well because As much as I would like to work for NASA, there is one thing I don't like about them, and that's that they tend to discontinue some of the most interesting projects out there, and programs just because they think that they're not important at the time. So let's just say that if I was running NASA, things would be done differently. But I can see that when you're a government agency that relies on government funding and all of that, you do kind of have to prioritize what you can do and all of that, versus what you can't do because there's not enough money to do it. Didn't mean to use that ability there. Or if you've been working on something for a while but it hasn't yielded a lot of results yet, or things like that. But yeah, that's just my take on that. And the Buccaneer Paragon is also very good at hooking in stray DBTs that make it to the end of the track, so that is very nice to see. So I may change the targeting of the Ace ability to hit some of the earlier parts of the track rather than the later parts, but we will see. So I don't want to use a lot of continues in this game, so I'm just thinking if we lose, we lose, but I do want to get farther than I am right now. I mean, round 273 is not bad, especially with all of the buffs to the increased balloon speed and health and all of that Ninja Kiwi has given the balloons over the years in the later rounds, especially past round 200, and then again past round 250, I think. So even though we did reach, like, although I wasn't recording at the time, I did reach like round 320 something back when like the first version of the game was out with just all the tier 5 towers and the temple and all of that. That said, there were no Paragons back then, so we could have gotten farther if there were Paragons back then. And also something that did not exist back then was immensely, ridiculously powerful free play balloons, so we would have lost there. So let's go ahead and try that again.
Quick! Where's that genie bomb?
So I may need to cut the video in the near future if this goes significantly longer, due to the fact that I will not be able to record for much longer at this time, because I do have a meeting I have to get to for a personal matter in the near future. And when I have to get to that, I will need to pause the recording. That said, I am not going to be editing out any gameplay per se. I'm still going to keep all of the gameplay from this point forward in the video, because it is part of the fun for you guys. So let's go ahead and try using our abilities a little bit more aggressively towards the beginning of the round. There's the Arcane Metamorphosis, but I'm not sure if it's actually doing anything. So can't really see what's going on here, unfortunately, and it looks like this is going to be a problem, so let's go out and try again once again. So for some reason I forgot that I placed my Ace Paragon on the landing pad on the like on the elevated ground there. So let's go ahead and retarget with our ability right there, do some micro, and hopefully, no, we do not pop that. So I really don't want to use any continues from here, just because I don't feel like it's worthwhile, because I don't really want a cash or life injection. I just want to retry the last round without paying anything, and since that's available in Chimps, I think it should be available in other game modes just for free. And then there could be a continue option for monkey money separately if you want extra cash and extra lives and all of that. But I wish I could have gotten farther, but round 275 is going to have to be it. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video, you guys. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more interesting content. And stay tuned for part 2 of my 3,000 subscriber special, which will be coming soon. And I will talk to you all again then. Peace out.